very good evening to everyone present here who has joined us today. Thank you for being a part of this session. As always, we at RAK, we believe that our student and parent community are our extended family, and we believe in giving the best experience for this community. So we have a very special a session planned for you. We have a very special guest. And as parents, we have always wondered, are we giving the right nutrition for our children? Are we bringing out the best food habits in them? So this question is often in our minds. So to clear your doubts and to give you a little bit more insight on this topic, we have with us a very special guest who is very close to us, Miss Manisha Kanodia Lohia. She is a Montessori educator, author, advanced yoga practitioner, seeker, Kathak dancer, and a passionate mother. She graduated with an accountancy honors, but her passion to work with children has inspired her to explore different possibilities with them. Her love and respect for developing children as independent, holistic individuals has been the key factor in the conceptualization of iSpark Holistic Happiness Studio. Her main sources of inspiration have been Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, her guru Mahatria Ra, her parents and family. A very close friend of RAK's, Ms. Manisha, thank you so much for being part of this session, and we're really curious and we're really excited to know what you have in store for us. Over to you, Ms. Manisha, and I request everybody to please keep your videos on mute. You can have your video on, but please mute the mic. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandhya, for inviting me as a speaker and sharing my experiences with a large group of parents here. Wishing all the parents of RAK a very happy evening. And my topic today is start early, be healthy, be happy.
Bima, internet.
Reason when Ramanna sir, RAK Academy approached to talk about health and nutrition, I was very excited to share whatever knowledge I have and what I have practiced rather than sharing my knowledge. So thank you, Ramanna sir, for giving me this opportunity. And I would just like to begin by saying that we are what we eat. So children from a very early age, they always imitate us. Whatever we are doing, they always see us and they also try to copy that and emulate that. So they learn much more from what they see than what they hear. So we may be saying something to them, but on the contrary, if we are not doing what we are saying, they don't get the right indication of what they are supposed to do, and they actually just copy our behavior and our action. So I would say that as parents, we shoulder a very big responsibility, but a very exciting responsibility. So here, I would just like to say that it was not very easy. It was actually very easy for me to practice whatever I am saying today. I had seen my parents, my father, living with the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda, muscle of iron, nerve of steel, and mind like thunderbolt. So daily exercises, having a healthy food regime was a part of his daily routine. As such, it was very easy for me to imbibe that in my daily routine also, as my dinacharya, I would say. So I would say the body is our temple. Just as we go into a temple, we cleanse our feet and we take some food to offer to the altar of God. Similarly, so the moment we start worshipping our body as a temple, we will be able to do the right thing with our body. We don't even have to think much what we have to do. It will be very easy to just do when we just close our eyes for a minute and think what we will do before entering the temple. So I would say that initially and beginning itself, when we think that our body is our temple, the entire journey of eating right becomes very, very simple. There is no fixed diet plan which one should follow, or something which many nutritionists are saying. Of course, it's very good to have knowledge from nutritionists, but each of our body type is very different, and we should always be aware of and conscious of what our body is telling us. It continuously tells us and speaks to us something. So basically, our body is, the food which we have are of two types. It's alkaline and it's acidic. The acidic foods are all the processed foods and all the ready-made foods which we get. And alkaline foods are which our body requires a lot. So in these food categories, I would broadly categorize about 7 to 8 food categories, which would be very important if we can try to improvise one habit at a time. In this, I would say first is lemon. So there is a myth that lemon is acidic, but the moment lemon touches our body, the moment lemon comes in touch with our saliva, it turns alkaline. So if we try to include lime shots, maybe with half a 1/4 glass of water, we put lime in it, and turmeric and pepper. So I'm sure all of you all are doing a lot of things now during COVID time, trying to revamp your eating patterns. But believe me, it doesn't work like that. Of course, it's a very good start for you all to go the long way. But if we have done it right from a very early age, today, COVID will just come, touch you, and go away. Your immunity will be so strong, you will not be affected by COVID at all. But of course, many people have not known about it. So the sooner the better. You can start it now itself. Because right now I feel in the air from the last 2 months, which I have also been hearing, people have been taking turmeric, pepper, but whatever you have put in your body over the years together, it cannot get eliminated suddenly by having turmeric, by having pepper. It takes time to eliminate all the toxins which your body has accumulated. So don't hurry up. But today my talk is that at least we as parents can imbibe the right values in children. That's why I say start early. We may not have been exposed to the same environment as probably I have been, or many of you all have already been seeing your parents. I would say our earlier generation is much more healthier than us. So that is one food which is lemon. I would highly recommend everyone to have, and in small doses. Then dry fruits and fruits are very good. Dry fruits like anjeer, dates, then raisins, big raisins. It's good. We can soak it in water and have it. And fruits, of course, any fruit, but sweet fruits and savory, the sour fruits should be taken in at different times and in moderation. And we should give a gap between the fruits which we have and the cooked food which we have, because it takes time to digest the raw food. Then a lot of nuts and seeds are very good, high in vitamins, like the nuts, all nuts, walnuts, pistachios, almonds, then seeds like pumpkin seeds. One can roast it and keep it in a jar, and you can have it whenever you're hungry. You can snack on it. So rather than snacking on chips and wafers, etc., if we keep these healthy things by our side, especially now when our children are around, they're not going to school. So I think this is the right time you can imbibe the right values in children. So I think COVID has come as a blessing to all of us to make us aware of what we were doing and what we should start doing. So I would say it's a blessing in disguise. Of course, the kind of many people are being affected by COVID. So I'm not saying it's good or bad, but right now we are no one to judge about it. Again, I would say then apart from that, having juices, vegetable juices are very good, like green juices, red juices, then water juices. So green juices could be any leafy vegetables you can put with some mint, ginger, turmeric, lime, salt, can be added liberally. Red juices are, of course, beetroot, carrot, and tomato. You can make that and you can have it at different time intervals, morning or evening. And water juices could be made with the gourd vegetables, which we readily get it here. And it cools the stomach as well. Then the fourth, I would go to the salads, which we have. Salads are very good because it will ignite, it ignites a fire in our body to digest the food. And to a certain extent, it satiates the hunger level also. So salads are very good. Then coconut. Coconut is a very rich form of fat. It's good fat. So when we have bad fat in our body, the good fat actually kills the bad fat. So you should have coconut. And also coconut reduces the sugar craving, which we also get many a times. So these are the kinds of food which I would recommend for everyone. And probiotic foods. Probiotic foods in the form of yogurt, kefir, kombucha. So these are things which we should have, like buttermilk. We all have because of the hot climate here, and it cools the stomach. So I would say that our body is a very important tool, and we should respect our body in every way. And what RAC does through dance is, because dance secretes happy hormones in our body, and we get the feeling of being happy. And whenever we are happy, whatever we do out of happiness gives us the maximum benefit. So including a little bit of exercise in our daily routine, in any form, walking, yoga, dance, there are so many different forms. Even while we are in the house, even while we are cooking, it's okay. Cooking and doing all the household chores like mopping, sweeping is a very good form of physical exercise. And we should encourage that. We should ask our children to help us cutting vegetables from an early age. So basically, coming from the Montessori background which I've had, we were taught, we did not make children feel scared about holding the knife. We would rather give the knife to the child and show the tip of the knife to tell them that this is sharp, don't touch this, but hold the knife from here, from the right position. So what happens when the child is left alone in the home environment? When the child is in the kitchen, he knows when he touches the tip or when he touches the edge, the sharp edge, his hand, he'll get hurt. So also with fire, we have to teach the child that if you put your hand in the fire, it will burn. So basically, should not make him feel scared of these things. There is a right approach how we should explain to the child. So that is what we were taught through my Montessori education, and it has helped me a lot to make it a part of my philosophy of life and live life fearlessly. So basically, if you see the lion behind, I feel one has to be a lioness. One has to live life fearlessly. So anything which comes to you, it goes away from you. So COVID will come and it will run away from you. So I would say that it's very good to include some physical regime in our daily routine. Then I would like to break this entire subject of be healthy, be happy into three parts. I started with body, then we align it to our mind. When we are eating consciously, when we are eating mindfully, whatever we are eating, it gets digested beautifully. And as I just said, that happily. So eating happily, being aware of what we are eating, being conscious of, and without technology. Believe me, friends, watching TV and eating, having a gadget like phone, iPad, and eating is just not the right way. I would say Like we should go back to our ancient science, ancient philosophy, where there was a beautiful saying, Annapurne Sadapurne Shankara Prana Vallabhe, Jnana Vairagya Siddhartham, Bhiksham Dehi Cha Parvati. So, what are we doing by this shlok? We are invoking the blessings of the goddess who gives us the power to digest food. That please come, be there, and help me to digest this food, this offering which I'm giving to my temple, my body. So we offer gratitude to our body. Like for our children from a very early age, when they enter, they go to school, the first environment where they go to, they are taught, they have to say a prayer that thank you, God, for the food we eat. Thank you, God, for the birds that sing. Thank you, God, for everything. So that is how, but what happens when we grow up and we are in the rush of working, of going to office, we forget to thank the food which we are putting in our mouth. I would say that let's begin from there. That's why I said mind. It's very, very important to align the mind to the food which we are eating. So the moment we offer gratitude, we say a thank you prayer to God, I think we should just make it as a part of a routine. We can just put a small note, a placard on our dining table, and thank you. We should just write it there, and everyone, whoever is eating, maybe at different timing, they could just come, say the prayer, and they could start. It could be a very simple prayer, thank you, God. That's it. You don't have to go to a very long recital of any chants or anything. I recited that mantra because I have been doing that from a very long time. So it's very easy for me to say that. But it's not easy for everyone. So let's just follow a simple prayer, a thank you. Just close your eyes, invoke the blessings of God, and help and ask Him to help you digest the fire, the food which we are eating, and ignite that fire. So ice spark, again, I would come back to ice spark. We say that igniting the fire, igniting sparks of happiness. So everything, whatever I'm talking today, is in alignment with the vision which I have for ice spark, and the vision which is so closely linked with the vision of RAC through the holistic living through dance, because that secretes happy hormones, and nothing like being happy. So we also have our tagline as Holistic Happiness Studio. When you are happy, everything is aligned. Whatever food we eat out of happiness, even if we have a big piece of cake out of happiness, we'll be able to digest it. But that does not mean you keep having cake every day. Okay, you can have it sometimes and you can cheat yourself. But at the same time, if you're exercising, if you're keeping your body fit, if you're not feeling too lethargic, and you're wanting to move around during the day also, you should make sure that you're moving around enough. So that I would say about the mind aspect. And also, when we are eating mindfully, we involve all our senses in eating. We have 5 senses. So we are seeing the food, then we are hearing, maybe when we are biting the food, we are hearing the noise which is making. If we have a aplam, then we are biting it, and it's so beautiful. We close our eyes and wow, the aplam is biting. Aha, aha. It excites us. So that is what is to do about hearing. Then I would say that tasting, of course, when we are away from all the gadgets, away from all the technology, then we can actually relish every taste, be it sweet, sour, savory, spicy, everything we can relish it. Then our hands, because we are putting the food with our hands into our mouth, this is also getting sensitized when we are eating and mindful about eating through all our senses. So I would say that when we are away from technology, with all our gadgets away, we should not do that, because our children will see us and also want to have gadgets next to them when they grow up. So that's why again and again I'm reiterating my topic. Start early. We have to be role models. We have to be the living inspirations for our children. We are the living Bible, the Gita, every scripture for our children, because they see us day in and day out. Then I would come to the soul aspect. In the soul aspect, I would like to say that life is all about yes and no and not no, you know. So why not? We should eat healthily, we should eat with awareness. And when we say yes to what we are eating, whatever negative, whatever the things which we do not want our body to have, it will repel it away. So that is what I would say with the soul aspect is, and also what happens through physical activity, through dance, through movement, our soul gets nourished. Our soul gets nourished. When at that frame of mind, when we sit down to eat, like even if you see any one of y'all, if you all go for a walk, short walk in nature, and just go out even in the terrace at this particular time, you feel rejuvenated. When you want to come back, you want to eat, you feel excited about eating, because at 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you've been with nature, you have moved around in nature, and you filled yourself. So you feel nourished, and digestion happens most effectively, most in a most nourished manner. So I would say briefly, I've summed up my thing with body, mind, and soul. So the key takeaway from the entire session, I would want to leave the floor for questions, and I would do a small demonstration of something which we give to children here. I would say that we should not try to take everything and put everything into practice, because it is not practically possible. If any one of you all are not doing whatever I have said right now, don't try to do everything together. Otherwise, you will end up doing nothing. So try to take up one thing at a time, one goal at a time, and try to do it consistently. The key takeaway here is be consistent in what you're doing. If you're giving up doing something which you're doing, which is not right, which you feel is not right for the body, and which you're probably, if you've been to a doctor or a physician, he said it's not good for your kind of body type, so drop that. Consciously drop that, work on that, and after dropping that, take something which you feel will help you to grow from whatever is happening to you right now. So when you leave something, it automatically leaves you. You will not even have to, if you want to have it again, you will not want to have it again. So it leaves you. If you leave something, it will leave you. It's a simple philosophy. I've been doing it, and actually, I don't even feel like going back to having white sugar or maybe rich food with candies or something. Of course, I do binge. I mean, not binge, I would say. I would taste a chocolate or a sweet sometime. But I know if I've done that, I'll work out after that. So take one habit at a time. And life is all about small beginnings, incremental improvement, and sustained progress. So if you move in a very systematic manner, not trying to take up everything, but take up one thing at a time, maybe 1 month at a time, 21 days. 21 days is a very, I mean, research has said that in 21 days, you can pick up a habit, you can drop a habit, you can learn something, you can drop something out of your life. So 21 days, consistently do something and feel good about it. Then after the 21 days, it will become a part of you. Then after the 21 days, on the 22nd day, take something else. So like this, when you consistently do it for 21 days, you will not realize, but subconsciously it becomes an integral part of you. So I would say that it's consistent, directed, self-motivated, intelligent effort in every aspect of life, be it nutrition, be it work, be it with children. You can put this quote, consistent, directed, self-motivated, intelligent effort. You can put it in every aspect of life. I've heard this very often from my Guru Mahatria, and by doing so, I feel so accountable to what I'm doing. And we don't need any doctor or anyone to tell us. When we are aware, we are conscious, we'll be able to do that. I would also like to emphasize on one point. Stomach is like a second brain. So when we eat everything mindfully, with awareness and consciously, the gut and the brain is connected. Whatever we eat with that frame of mind, it will do wonders to our body. Like, we don't need any medicines. Food itself will be the right medicine which we are putting in our body, in our temple. And that is the altar, that is the offering which we are giving to our body, which God has given us in this lifetime to take care of and do what is best for it. So I summed up my entire session with the small beginning, incremental improvement, and sustained progress, consistent, directed, self-motivated, intelligent effort. Here, I would just like to tell you, the kind of a diet which I generally try to follow from morning is, I would try to take, I generally every day I take a glass of hot water with lime, with lemon. You can add turmeric, pepper in it. Morning time is good to have fruits, dry fruits. So try to have as much as you can have about that. Then lunchtime, you can break by start with having a salad. You can have salad in any form, raw form. You can even boil it. You can have a boiled potato, sweet potato, which is good. And take any kind of a salad. Then have your meals, whatever. Rice is good for this kind of a climate. Rice is good. More than, because when you go to different parts of India, like if you go to the north, people have rotis there, parathas there. But in Tamil Nadu, in West Bengal, people have more of rice because that is what digests our system. If you go to the Western countries, people have bread. So it's okay. You should try to have where you are staying according to that climate. Rice, millets are very good. Millets are equally good and a high source of protein. So while rice is more of carbohydrate, millets are more of proteins, and it keeps you fuller to a very long, for a more amount of time. And then in the evening, you can go with some nuts and seeds, which you can keep handy. You can powder the nuts also and put it in your flour, or just sprinkle a few seeds on the salads which you're having. And again, in the evening time, have some vegetable juice, like morning, have your dinner. So that is a kind of a diet which I also follow for the day. And I feel very energized, energetic, and just always feel like an energy on the move. So I would do a demonstration for you all for the kind of healthy snacks which we give to our children here at Ice Park. And Ice Park is all about starting early, be healthy and happy. In the children who come here to Ice Park, we have a place where the children we have a gym with non-mechanized gym equipments. So that is one fitness regime which we follow. And Ramanna sir, Rak, we've been very close friends with each other. So, dance is a very important part of life. As a Kathak dancer, I feel that myself, that dance stimulates my happy hormones here. So, that is one part. And as I said, mind and soul, we try to integrate doses of silence and meditation at Ice Park. Whatever we are doing, we will close our eyes and we'll tell our children to be aware, to connect to God. That prayer which we tell the children to recite here is soul nourishment. At that time, we are communing with God. So that is a silent communion to God. So that is how we try to do in Ice Park, through varied activities, trying to develop them holistically. And I am really passionate about children. When I was doing my Montessori course, there was something which we learned very early, that for children, come down to the child's height. When you come down to the child's height, you will be able to see the world from their height. So we will not feel like, okay, we are adults, we should command them, we should instruct them. We will be more like friends to them. And when we are a friend to them, they will listen to us much more than what we want them to. Rather, we will listen to them much more. So if you start early, they will educate you when they grow up and as you are growing up, to always be on guard. So I'll just show you all what I've been making here with children. So these are these healthy crackers which we make. Instead of biscuits, we give these to children here, and we make this in different shapes here. Like there is a round shape, there is a square shape, and there is a small square shape. So these are like these cheeseling biscuits, and I do not want to give them biscuits as such. So we add some jaggery sometimes when we want to give them a sweet taste, but we'll put some salt and other spices which are Indian herbs and spices, and we make it. So I will just demonstrate the portions with my chef here. So this is ragi flour. I'm taking 5 spoons of ragi flour, which I put in the bowl here, and he's putting that in a bowl. Yeah. Then we are adding some millet flour. He's putting, again, that's 5 spoons. And we can vary it. If we want more of ragi, we want less of millet, we can do that. And if you don't want atta, we can avoid atta also. People who are gluten intolerant, who do not want to have gluten, they can avoid atta also. So here, this is atta, again 5 spoons. I'm adding that. And this is ghee. So this ghee is very good. Rather than butter in the biscuits which we get from the shop outside, they add butter. So ghee is very, very good. It nourishes our body. And whatever ailments we have, it cures us of those ailments. So he's putting about 3 to 4 tablespoons of ghee according to how do we need it, according to that. And we have many more spices and condiments here. So I'm adding some flaxseed. I'm adding some flaxseed here, a tiny bit of flaxseed. I'm adding some pumpkin seeds here. You can see it, I hope. Yeah. 1 spoon is also enough. Adding some pumpkin seeds here. Then this is homam. This is homam. Very good for digestion. This is sesame seed, very high in calcium. And some salt. So you can add rock salt, it's good. We generally add rock salt. If you want to make a sweet out of it, you can add some jaggery, organic jaggery. So my chef here has put all the ingredients, and now he's going to knead it with water. He's going to knead it with water. So we make it into a kneaded flour, and then we roll it into like a paratha kind of a thing, or we can make small rotis out of it, prick it like how we make cookies at home, and prick it and bake it in the oven. So you can preheat the oven to 250 centigrade for about, say, half an hour or 20 minutes. You can even pressure cook it, you can heat water in a heavy bottom pan and put that idli sancha or something in the middle, and spread it out, put a little bit of ghee and spread it out, and you can wait for about half an hour or something, and it will get baked. It will get baked, and children love it. What we do is, generally after every fitness session, we'll just give this to children here. And the way they sit down so cutely, sitting and munching, it's like seeing them munching cheeseling biscuits or something. I wish I'd known this recipe when I was growing as a child, because I was very fond of jeera biscuits and cheeseling biscuits. We would get that in moderation. So rather than giving those biscuits, we don't get biscuits here at all. So we try to make these healthy snacks here and keep it there readily available at Ice Park. whenever children want, they can have it. So he's kneaded this into a flour. He's kneaded this into a flour consistency here. So if you see, there are all seeds coming out of it. And it tastes very nice. It really tastes crunchy. For children, you can make small ones. So, इसको ना छोटे-छोटे स्वाली का तरह बनाइए, छोटा, सब टाइप का एक shape दिखाइए. So he'll just show it to us, roll and show every shape. So children learn, like younger children, they learn a lot of shapes. I remember when my mother used to make pani puri at home, puchka. You know, so we used to put the caps from a lid and make it into round shapes. I wanted different shapes out of it, so she would do that. So we, children learn a lot of shapes. If you're doing it, make your children participate in whatever you are doing. Now is the best time. So don't tell them, okay, go away, do something else. They'll be a nuisance. We don't want you. If you make your children participate in whatever you are doing, always they'll be able to do that. So in fact, my son is 22 years old now, but from a very young age, I always asked him that, is this okay? Is this okay? Be a participant in it. Until now, I feel that we've had a very nice and a healthy, friendly relationship together with each other. So this comes up like this, like a small thing here, like small round biscuits. And it's very nice, it's very healthy because flax seeds are there, sesame seeds are there, and melon seeds are there. All the seeds are there. So whatever is required for the child, they can have it. And if you want, you can add a little bit of jaggery in it to give it that sweet taste. But without jaggery also, it really tastes nice. So I think Ramanna sir loves to come to Ice Park and loves to have these snacks here. That's the reason why he felt he should invite me as a speaker to speak about what we are doing as a part of nutrition. And I really want that how through Ice Park, I can help all the parents, all the children about the nutrition aspect from a very early age. So now he will just make it into different shapes by cutting it from the knife. So I'll just show you how we can cut it into different shapes here. So basically, the shape which I showed you, you can make it into a rectangle, into a small triangle, all different shapes. So this is like a triangle kind of a thing here. Then this becomes like a rectangle here. This becomes like a rectangle here. I hope all the parents can see it. I can send some pictures to Sandhya and Ramanna sir, so they can put it up on the group also. This is like a rectangle. Then we can make a square out of it also. Children just love it. When you show them these different shapes, this is like a square here. Then we can make it like, different shapes we can make it. All different, we can do trial and error and make different shapes. See here. And then just bake it. It's really tasty. I would love to give this to Ramanna sir so that he can put it in all the branches once everything resumes back, once the physical space starts off, and all the parents can experience it, taste it. And if you have any difficulty, you can try to make it, but maybe I'll share the right ingredients with you and the method of making it. I'll share it with sir and with his team. So that's it. I leave the floor to my parents and to Sandhya, to Ramanna sir for any questions.
Thank you very much, Manisha ji. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Thank you very much. And this is my favorite the dish what you showed to the parents. And I'm telling the parents you should taste it. Every time I go to Ice Park, I myself will ask, okay, fine. She starts offering a lot of snacks, and I love the tea there. I specifically asked for this particular snack, and she makes sure she put it in a box for me. So you have to taste it to believe it. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you. You become an addict to it. At the same time, with lots of nutritions are there in that. So it's lovely. I'm going to ask you a question, Manisha
Yes,
ji.
sure.
Which standard is your son? I think he's in your fourth standard, right? Vedant is in fourth standard, right? No, fourth or fifth?
No. He's a 22-year-old boy now.
Oh, Vedant is 22-year-old boy. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God. Whereas it's time for you to. I've initiated the question now. You should ask her how she is maintaining her body like this. You have to see her in person to believe it, because such a disciplined person. She loves what she does, and you have to visit once Ice Park there. It'll be such a bliss to visit that place. It'll be spick and span.
Thank you, Manisha ma'am. I just want parents to share some of their feedback as the time is running. I
100%.
just
Yeah,
wanted to be
sure.
so what is their questions, and maybe my request to the parents to unmute one by one, so that whoever wants to have questions with Manisha ma'am based on your style, it would be really good. So
Very happy.
that's where I thought I can put it over there. And
Sure.
ma'am, we have got very good feedback from the parents over there. If you can see it in the chat window, for
Okay.
example, Arnav, nowadays children, my kids are themselves take nutrition food at
Right.
nutrition food
Yes.
at 4 years of the age.
Right,
So
right,
my
right.
request to the parents, anyone wants to ask a question
Sure.
to Manisha ma'am, please unmute yourself and then ask a question.
Wonderful. Yeah. Very happy.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
Ma'am, I have two daughters. Both are suffering
Sure.
from gastric problem. Is there any home tip is there?
What,
Rather than-
just repeat again. Just repeat again. I couldn't
Yes.
understand what you.
My both daughters are suffering from gastric problem.
Okay. How old are they, ma'am? How old are they?
One is 12 and one is 11.
Oh, okay. They,
So,
what?
They
Sorry,
are
please
suffering from past 1 year. I went for homeopathy. I don't want to go for allopathy.
Right.
After taking medicine for 6 months, again the problem is repeated.
Okay.
So then I went for allopathy. They gave the tablet. If they are suffering at gastric trouble, I gave the tablet.
I mean, what's your? Yeah, sorry, sir. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I don't want to give medicine from this age.
No, I was just going to tell you. Can I know your name, ma'am? Because I'm not getting your name. I would not want to call you as Deepika's mother. What's your name, ma'am?
I'm Madhavi.
Madhavi, yeah. Hi, Madhavi.
Yeah.
I would say that medicines is not the right way at this age for children.
Yes.
So I would say
Yes,
that,
yes.
you should try to see what kind of food they are eating. So like we were just talking about lime shots. Ramanna sir also was just talking about lime shots. I would say that just try with very small doses of lime shot, because for such a long, yes, please.
But because they have tonsils and another problem, so I don't want to use lime because of doctor's suggestion.
No, I'll just again, like the myth which I started with. We all feel that lime is acidic, but the moment it comes in touch with our human body, it becomes alkaline. And lime shot is one of the best cures. I'll tell you about myself. During an infection in my stomach about 7 years back, and I don't take any allopathy medicines at all. I was telling in my session that food itself is medicine. If you take it in the right combination, in the right way, it will work as medicine to in our body. So if you can just start with small dose of lime, maybe once in a day or twice in a day, because if you take it initially for the first time, the body will react in a different way, because there is so much of toxins in the body. It has to eliminate those toxins. So in the beginning of the session also, when I was telling you all about how, right now in the COVID time, we are trying to eat all the good food, but it will not help us. But it's a good start. But whatever we've had from our past life, from our past years of living life, that has to go away. So it's good to start try with a small dose of lime shots. And I'll just tell you one or two things which has helped me also. And another very important thing for gastritis, I would say, is you should include some form of pranayama. Being a yoga, a total yoga fan, my entire system, everything has healed doing yoga, dance, and I don't think there's a day I do, goes in my life without yoga or dance in some way or the other. You can start some small doses of pranayama. Pranayama in the sense, if you want, it's better to engage a yoga teacher. Now through Zoom classes also you can get yoga teacher. Maybe for 10-15 minutes they can do, because at that young age, they would not want to do yoga so much. There was a challenge which I'm talking about my son who's 22 years old now. It was very difficult for me to get him to do yoga. But still, I would call the yoga teacher every day. She would play around with him 15 minutes. She would do yoga with him. 15 minutes, she would play around with him. He wanted to play balls and games with her. She would do that with him. But gradually, he started loving to do yoga. So I would say try with lime shot. Include a little bit of pranayama in their diet, in their lifestyle. And you can do these herbal things like, ajwain in jeera water. Jeera water is very good. So what you could do is, say 2 glasses of water, you can boil it and boil it with some jeera, 2 tablespoons of jeera, you can add it. When it becomes half, you can strain it and make them have the jeera water throughout the day. Jeera is very good. It's very rich in calcium and it reduces all the digestive problem. The same thing you can do with omam also. That's why when I was showing you the cracker which I'm making, I'm adding jeera, omam, everything in this in different ways, which children would not want to have like that. You can add jeera and omam together. You can give jeera water. So instead of giving them normal water, you can just make jeera water and keep it in a tumbler and they can have sips of water. There's also another myth which we have when we say that we should have gallons of water together when we are thirsty. I think it's much better. Like I would say that bite every liquid which you're having, So basically have sips of water. If you have it together, it's difficult to digest. So you can have this, you can have jeera water, you can have homam water and all that. Then you can encourage your children to do pranayama. Then after that, you can ask them to sit in Vajrasana. After every meal, if you sit down in Vajrasana for 10 minutes, 11 minutes, it digests the entire food which they are eating. So I don't know what kind of a food pattern are they following. Are you all having more of rice? Or
yes, we are South Indian, rice.
Yeah, rice. Okay. So I think you could do one thing. Don't mix rice and chapati together. Have rice by itself. Don't mix 2 grains together. Maybe observe the body for the next 1 week, 10 days. If you're giving rice, let it be only rice. And if you're giving roti, let it be only roti. So I think these are the small things which you can try. These 3 things I think you can try. You can give them jeera water.
Yeah.
Have you given them jeera water? Huh?
Yes, daily I'm giving.
Yeah, jeera homam. You can ask them to sit in Vajrasana. That's very good. Believe me, it's really good. For 10-11 minutes, just encourage them to sit in Vajrasana. It digests the entire food system.
Thank you very much.
And lime shots, try it.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. This is Ilan's mother.
Okay.
I just want to say a few things about you, because this show reveals your identity actually. It's your passion, and whatever you have told will never reach anybody until or unless they have their own identity. And you cannot change the identity of a mother after a certain point of age. It comes brought up. So whatever you do, nobody will follow, and it has some partial results. And for example, if I say I have a lion backside, right? We say lion is the king of jungle, but basically lion have a broad shoulder, but it don't have a flexibility. And if you say if you take tiger has more flexibility than lion. So a lion can beat a tiger if it doesn't lose its unique identity, and a lion can beat tiger if it doesn't lose its identity, because with the shoulders it can attack the tiger, and the tiger if it doesn't back down it can attack the lion. So what I say is like you should never lose your identity. So that's why you have come up to this extent, according to me, and your passion for nutrition and for everything in your inner self that speaks till now.
Sure.
That's
No,
why.
yeah. So each of us are unique, rare, original. We should not try to imitate anyone. That's why I said in the beginning of the session that all our body type is very different. You know, even during pregnancy period, like the doctor tells us, okay, don't have this, don't have that. But we have to observe our body. That's why when I was talking about mind, I said, please be aware of what you're eating. Observe your body. Everyone's body reacts in a different way. So the beautiful example, ma'am, which you just shared about the tiger and the lion, it's actually true. So when we retain our own identity, we can fight life, we can challenge life in a much, much bigger way than we actually think. So, you know, you should not try to imitate anyone. And when we do that with our children, that's the reason why I said we should respect children as independent human individuals. So when I was doing my course, we were actually taught to kneel down and come down to the child's level. When I did that, I mean, that particular day, I still remember, it was 24 years back. It totally changed the bandwidth with which I started seeing children, because I saw the world was looking so beautiful from there. And I could just retain my own innocence and my childlike exuberance. So that's a beautiful thing. Very happy to hear that. Thank you.
My analysis from whatever you have reached me in that view.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? Anybody else?
Sandhya, I think it's very good session, ma'am. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for joining through online and helping our rock parents. And it was kickstarted it as a small journey last week, and we are really marching towards on it. An amazing tips, ma'am.
No, that is really wonderful, Divakar sir. Like I told you and Ramanna sir, initially when we were trying to get in touch with each other and to start iSpark and RAC, I was wanting to give you all much more from my side, from iSpark side, than receive from you all. So whatever knowledge, knowledge, as I said right in the beginning, I'm not a nutritionist. But whatever I've practiced in my own life, starting early, I just want to share that with people, what has worked with me, with my son who's now 22-year-old, which you all have both interacted with. And I feel the more we can reach out, we'll be able to reach out to the much larger world. So it's not RAC or iSpark. I think it's just together we march and we reach out to the larger world.
Yeah, that's right. Manisha, there's a one question.
Sure.
Aditi, there's a question. Can you please share the ideas of interesting snacks to my 5-year kid?
Yes, sure. So this is one thing which we make here at iSpark. And then apart from that, I make something like small amaranth balls and laddus. So what I do is I get these amaranth, and you can use it with different nuts also. You can use peanuts in it. You can use chana. What I'm trying to do is we should make a lot of snacks with high protein. Protein fills our stomach for a longer period of time. So what we do is like the what do you call the LP, which you have the laddus outside. We use amaranth. You get the amaranth very easily. You can mix amaranth with jaggery, and you can make it into small balls, dry balls. Keep it in a jar and give it to your children. And as I said, pumpkin seeds and these sunflower seeds, flaxseed, you can roast it and you can put it in a jar. It really tastes nice. And if you heard of lotus seeds, have you heard of lotus seed? Better than popcorn. Like we have popcorn which we get in everywhere. Rather than popcorn, what I do is I use lotus seeds here. So I just roast it. You get lotus seeds easily available in the market, in the shelves, in the stores. So you can roast it with some ghee, salt and pepper. You should use ghee because ghee is very good. You can roast it with some salt and pepper and keep it in a jar and give this as snacks to the children. And this, of course, is very good. As I said, as soon as physical spaces start, I'll keep it across in all the rack branches for all the parents to try. And now at this time, I'll share the ingredients and the entire way of making it and share it with sir here. So that is there. Then you can make sweet potatoes. You can boil sweet potatoes, cut it and make it like into a chaat. You can put some salt and pepper and some chaat masala. Sweet potato is very good. Apart from that, you can make boiled potato chaats with some peanuts and chanas you can make. And what I did with my son, because children like they are in awe with the presentations. So even if you make some very healthy food, but you present it very well, they would love to try it. So that's what I used to do with my son. I used to make some healthy food and I would make the presentation so appealing that he would want to taste it. Initially, 1 bite, 2 bite, he may not like it, but gradually the presentation was so attractive that he would want it again and again. So it takes time. Like I said, there's a habit, no? You should try to introduce one habit at a time and leave something one at a time. If you try to do everything together, it will not work like that. And like what I would do is peserettu. You all make peserettu at home. So instead of using bread, I made peserettu or like 2 chilas, and I would put the burger patties in between that and give it to him. So these are, the moment as a mother, we are so innovative and creative, as a human being especially also. But as a mother, we keep thinking about what more to give to our children. What next? How should we make him happy, her happy? Automatically, ideas will feel flooding in, and I'll brainstorm a few snack items and I'll share it with Sir and Divakar Sir.
One last question, Manisha ji.
Yes.
Another parent has typed in the chat box. She's asking about the lime shot. How to take it?
Yeah. So lime shot, basically you can have 1/4 glass, take 1/4 glass of water, put 1 lime in it and just have it. You can just gulp it or sip it. So 1/4 glass of water is not big. You can even gulp it. In that, what you could do is you can add like rock salt in this weather because it's so hot. The rock Himalayan salt, you get pink salt. You can add that. You can add a little bit of turmeric, a pinch of turmeric, a pinch of pepper you can add. So you can make the water cold also. You can make it lukewarm also. You can make it a little hot also. If you want to sip it and have it, make it hot. So sip it and have it. If you want to have chilled, if you're feeling hot, just have chilled 1/4 glass of water. So after every meal, if you have this lime shots, 1/4 glass of lime shots, it is very good. It rejuvenates your body. And at the same time, if like I was just talking about a stomach infection which I had got, I didn't go for an antibiotic. What I did was, if I squeezed 1 lime in it, equal quantity of water I just had, and I kept on having that throughout the day. I would have it 7-8 times throughout the day. The next day, my infection had just vanished. Yes.
Yeah, I just, since you're talking about lime shot, you can dilute the lime and drink it in the early morning, the lukewarm water, right?
Yes, yes.
And the
yes.
shot, what you mean by is you should have less quantity of water, at least
Yes.
half the lime. Should drink it after a meal.
Yes,
so
after.
the digestion process takes place.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Thank
So you
you.
should have more of lemon. So that's why I said 1 lime in 1/4 glass of water. So the concentration of the lime is much more than the water. So that, but initially when people are starting it, don't make it such a strong concentration. Make it a little more diluted because your body is not used to it. So it will repel. You'll have belching. So maybe in that you can have it not throughout the day many times, have it twice in a day. So maybe after 2 meals you can try it. And then gradually increase it if you want it.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. That was my question, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
This lovely time, lovely evening.
Thank you, Ramana sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ramana sir,
Over to Sandhya.
for giving this opportunity.
Over to Sandhya.
Thank you so much, Manisha ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful inputs. I mean, I think all of us are full of confidence now that we can give our child better nutrition and a much more healthier way here on. Thank you to all the parents for being so patient with us and staying for the entire session. We look forward to having many more sessions like this. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ramanna sir.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the parents and the children who've been here with their parents listening to us patiently. Yeah. So it would be very nice to get feedback from parents, from children. And it would be so nice to develop, because I think we learn so much from children. I think my entire journey of life has been learning through children. I'm sure with you, Ramanna sir, with you, Sandhya, and all the parents, we've all learned so much from children.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every class.
Every moment.
Yes. That's
Every
one of the lessons we give it to our instructors.
Huh.
You go to class not to teach. For the instructors, I keep telling them, you go to class to learn from the kids.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Only, like you said, you have to bend down and go to their level. Only then you understand their word. So it's easy for you to have the communication right.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Wishing everyone a very happy evening. Thank you, Ramanna sir. Thank you, Divakar sir, Sandhya,
Thank you, ma'am.
Gugan, everyone. Thank you.